Well, it's time now to get some of the day's top business news. France 24's Cole Stangler joins us now. And Cole, something of a rough day on the markets to close out the week. Tell us more.
There is some optimism about the vaccine rollouts around the world, but really that's being overshadowed by other concerns. In particular, the stalled talks in the United States over potential stimulus seem to fit a roadblock there. And then, of course, the apparent lack of progress between the EU and the UK over a post-Brexit trade deal, clearly weighing on investors today. Against that backdrop, European indexes in solidly negative territory so far this afternoon. Shares on the FTSE and the CAC 40 both down more than 1%. Losses on the DAX in Frankfurt nearing nearly 2% there. And meanwhile, the pound sterling also continuing to slide, as I was saying, as those talks between the EU and the UK continue with little indication that there's an agreement on the horizon. The pound now trading at around $1.32 and trading at around €1.09.
Meanwhile, let's talk about the entertainment giant Disney. It says it's planning an expansion of its film and series streaming service.
That's right. It's known, of course, as Disney Plus. And according to figures released by the firm yesterday, now has 86 million subscribers. And that's well beyond forecasts when the service launched last year. Now, on Thursday, the company also announced some new additions to the service, including 10 Star Wars series spin-offs and 10 Marvel series that will debut on Disney Plus. Now, interestingly, Disney does plan to keep its biggest upcoming films slated for release in theaters in person. We saw recently Warner Media commit to releasing its entire 2021 slate online at the same time as it releases it in theaters. With a huge move for the film industry. Disney clearly not yet opting for that approach, at least not yet.
And finally, Cole, a major economic development in Cuba. After decades of having two currencies, the country will soon have just one. It starts on January 1st. Could you walk us through these reforms?
So, yeah, as you mentioned, this would put an end to the dual currency system, which has been in place since the 1990s. Right now in Cuba, there is both the Cuban peso, which is the historic national currency, and then you also have the Cuban convertible peso, which was created during the 90s, during the post-Soviet economic crisis in Cuba, roughly equivalent to the dollar. Under the changes that have been announced, the convertible peso will disappear on New Year's Day, and you'll only in Cuba have the Cuban peso, whose official exchange rate is currently fixed at around 24 pesos per dollar. So it's a much weaker currency, and that does mean that the transition period could be a little bit rough at the beginning. One of the biggest risks is inflation, a hike in prices. The government is already preparing to hike wages and to hike pension benefits to help offset that. But, also some state-run companies may suffer from the transition. That being said, the move is expected to be beneficial in the long run. That's at least the hope. A weaker currency will help to boost Cuban exports, make Cuban exports more favorable to trading partners, also help potentially make Cuban firms more efficient as well in the long run. So there are some growing pains, so to speak, about this move. It may be a little bit tough in the beginning, but the idea in the long run is that this is going to potentially make the Cuban economy a bit stronger.
Cole, thank you very much indeed. Cole Stangler there.